How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and today I am really excited. I have my first ever CGC return. I sent off about 20 cards back to CGC in, I want to say, around April, early April of this year. And now it is mid-December and they are back. So goodness, just about 8 months to get back a CGC bulk return. Not too bad, especially given where PSA is at. You're looking at over a year. My last return from PSA was 14 months end to end. So CGC definitely doing better there. However, not sure how their turnaround times are going to be with the flood of submissions that they're getting now that PSA is closed. So this was kind of a test submission. I just sent about 20 cards. This is all there is, so it's going to be a relatively short return video. But I'm really excited to crack into these and see what CGC's service is like, see how they evaluated these cards. Most of these cards I'm not expecting high grades on. I'm probably not going to get anything higher than a 9 in here. It would really surprise me if I got anything higher than a 9. But we will see. I'm really excited. I sent off a lot of really cool cards. So really excited for this. So I have taken, I don't know the grades. I've taken all of the cards sort of out of the packaging, and I've reversed them so I can go through them in the order I submitted them, but I don't know the grades. So you're gonna learn with me the grades of these cards. These are in the new CGC labels. The cases feel really nice. So without any further ado, let's crack into it. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay, beautiful. A near mint to mint plus 8.5 on this Infernape level X. That is fantastic. This is like better than I was expecting. This card has some hollow scratching, so I am really happy that we got the 8.5 on this Infernape. 8.5 is like a meme with CGC. Everyone gets 8.5s on all their cards, but I'm pretty happy that this came back with an 8.5. Very happy with that grade. Great way to start off the submission. Next, we are we're encountering the classic CGC Dust. 8.5 on the Darkrai Level X from Great Encounters. Pretty interesting Surface 9 on this. There were some hollow scratches that I thought like it was too much for a PSA 9. So I sent it to CGC. But interesting to see, yeah, like the grading scale is different, you know? So this is why I wanted to send in a submission like this to get a handle on CGC's grading. So yeah, as you can see, we have subgrades here. So centering 8.5, surface 9, corners 8.5, edges 8. Yeah, that probably adds up, I'd say. Yeah, there's some wear on the edges there. Not too bad, but yeah, surface 9, I was expecting a lower subgrade than that, so that's pretty interesting. But still pretty nice. Again, I'm really happy with 8.5s on those Level X cards. Near mint to mint plus 8.5 again on the Kabutops EX. Yeah, pretty interesting here. Again, yeah, so this has surface 8. That's kind of what I was expecting. I sent in a lot of EX cards that looked, you know, good corners, good edges, good centering, but had surface issues, had scratches like most EX cards do. So really interesting to see this come back again. The 8.5 grade, that's very solid. I'm very happy with this, and this is more in the line of what I was expecting with these scratched EX cards, to get a 8 on the surface, but that is really nice. So we 3 for 3 on 8.5s. I am totally fine with that. The submission has been great so far. Next card here, near mint to mint plus 8.5 on the Aggron EX. Centering 9, surface 8.5, corners 8.5, edges 8.5. So we have 8.5s all around there. So this is, yeah, like an 8.5 plus, I guess, with the centering 9. But yeah, that's pretty sweet. Continuing with the 8.5s, really happy with this. Yeah, these are grading really well. I was, you know, most of these I was like, these are not going to get PSA 9s. So, you know, my experience with PSA, not really sure, you know, it doesn't necessarily translate to CGC. as it is a different grading scale, but still really interesting to see like where I evaluated these cards, where they fit on the CGC scale as opposed to the PSA scale. Near mint to mint 8 on this Blastoise. That is really nice. So this has a dent in it. It has a very small dent. Don't know if I can pick it up. You can just see it there where I'm shining the light, right there where my thumb is. So I did not want to send this to PSA. I thought it would be an automatic 6 or a 5. And CGC is less harsher on dents. That is just sort of the way that their grading scale works. So near mint to mint 8 on this Blastoise, it's kind of interesting because like I would not consider a card with a dent like this Blastoise to be in near mint to mint condition. But as you can see, 8-5 centering. I think, yeah, the centering is fairly off on this as well. But yeah, 8-5 corners and 9 edges. So pretty good outside of that 7.5 surface, which you can tell was due to the dent. So yeah, CGC definitely not as harsh on dents as PSA. It does not automatically knock you down to a 5 or a 6. And again, like I said, different grading scale. So that, you know, comparing what will a PSA, you know, 5 translate to a CGC, like it's not one-to-one like that. Next card here. Near mint to mint 8 on the Ho-Oh EX. That is awesome. I was expecting much lower grades than this, so this is pretty interesting to be getting relatively high. You know, the lowest we've gotten so far is an 8. Yeah, again, this had a lot of scratches. So surface 7.5, that is something that I certainly agree with there, a low surface subgrade. And I think I mentioned this in the submission video that I was expecting low surface subgrades. But yeah, Ho-Oh EX, centering 9, surface 7.5, as I mentioned, corners 8 and edges 8.5. How are the corners looking on this? Yeah, you've got some, you know, a ding in each kind of corner there, some edge wear down there. Again, not bad, but yeah, still really nice. And again, yeah, these are like banger cards. So to get them back in pretty, with relatively high CGC grades is really nice. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so we're down to the 7.5. The lowest grade of the submission so far, near mint plus, and this is due to both the surface and the corners getting a 7.5. So if the corners were higher, I think we'd get an 8. But let's see, the corners here, yeah, CGC can be pretty tough sometimes. Like this doesn't really look like 7.5 corners to me. These corners look pretty good. But yeah, again, that's, you know, you're never going to agree with every single grade that you get from any grading company. So I probably would have graded that Golem higher, maybe the Blastoise lower, personally. But again, different grading scales. It's not one-to-one. Near mint to mint plus 8.5. Nice. We're back on the 8.5 train, and we are 8.5s all around on this Aggron EX. That is pretty nice. Yeah, so really cool to see this. Kind of interesting. I think, like, you know, maybe some of these I was a little harsh on, and maybe I should look at submitting them to PSA. But yeah, Aggron EX from Crystal Guardians. That is really nice. Very cool. But as I mentioned, nothing higher than an 8.5 so far. So this I saw. This is inked, and this is pretty strange. So this is my Lodic EX near mint 7.5. This is kind of strange. This was not given, I think CGC must have changed it, so it is now no longer a CGC qualified grade if the card is inked. I mean, this is kind of strange to have that like right on the back, because if I was an unscrupulous seller, I could just, you know, post a scan of the front and say, hey, you know, this is this near mint 7.5, my Lodic EX, pretty nice, huh? Yeah, this is because this is a huge card, and I actually, you can kind of tell, I looked it over, it is that bottom corner, which looks like it actually was inked. You know, initially, you know, I might have missed that, but it certainly does look like someone took a little pen to the corner and tried to color that in a little bit. So I totally missed that, so props to CGC for catching it. However, it is strange that this is not given the green label and the CGC qualified grade. Instead, it gets the universal label. But yeah, near mint plus 7.5, centering 9, surface 6.5. Makes sense, this card is kind of beat up in the surface department. Corner 7.5 and edges 8.5, but still, that's a very nice card. Really happy to have that one back. All right, continuing here. 8.5 Skarmory Ex. This is, oh goodness, this was like, what, probably 1.5 away from a 9. Yeah, so we're still nothing higher than an 8.5, but these cards have mostly come back a lot higher than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot of like in the 7 ranges, in the 6 range. So it is kind of interesting to see that once you get into the lower-ish grades, the CGC grading scale there. So 8.5 on the Skarmory, 8.5 centering, 9 surface, 8.5 corners, and 9 edges. Pretty sweet. All right, next card here. Near mint to mint 8 on the Kyogre Ex from Crystal Guardians. So yeah, a lot of EX cards in this submission. This submission again was mostly the EX cards that I didn't think were worthy of sending to PSA. So 2 8s on this, and then a centering and a surface grade that's a little higher. I think, what, if you average those together, it probably comes out like closer to 8.5 than 8. But I think if you have 2 grades that are the same and they are lower than the other grades, that's automatically the grade of the card. I'm not sure the sort of CGC algorithm for determining what grade overall it gets based on the subs, but it's pretty interesting to see sometimes. All right, next up here, near mint plus 8.5 on the Exploud EX from Crystal Guardians, centering 9, surface 8.5, corners 8.5, edges 8.5. Very solid here. Yeah, again, pretty interesting. We're doing really well on these EX cards in the near mint to mint range for most of them. Very, very nice. All right, next card here. Most of this is English. I think I only submitted 2 Japanese cards at their end, and they are at the end. Ooh, this is nice. Near mint to mint 8 on the Rayquaza EX from the Black Star promos, EX collector tins. So yeah, 9 centering, 8.5 surface, 7.5 corners, and 8 edges. Yeah, I guess like there is a little bit of sort of more solid whitening in that corner. But yeah, this is a very solid card in an 8. I am really happy with this, especially it being a Black Star promo, one of those old collector tin cards. That is really sweet. All right, continuing on here. Near mint to mint plus 8.5. I think this is one that I was kind of hoping would get a higher grade. Into the 9s and maybe the 9.5s, as I think I did maybe pack pull this myself. But yeah, centering 9, surface 9, corners and edges 8.5. Yeah, so I think, yeah, just some really minor things. Seeing those corners and maybe a tiny little ding on the edges there, that is what you get here. All right. Continuing on, near mint to mint plus 8.5 Entei. Again, this is one that I pulled myself, that I was kind of hoping to see that higher end of the CGC scale. 8.5 on this, a little bit disappointing, but again, I know those CGC grades are difficult to obtain in the 9 to 9.5 range, especially the 10 range. Yeah, surface 8.5, corners 8.5, centering 9, edges 9. I thought centering was really good on this card. I don't really know. I know they measure it they measure it automatically, or they measure it with a computer. but still kind of interesting to see the 9 centering grade there. But this is a really strong grade even as an 8.5, as these reverse holos are not easy to obtain in high grades. So 8.5 there. Next up here, 8.5, the 8.5 train. You know, the meme of 8.5s is really like significant. This Kirlia, again, centering 8.5, surface 8.5, corners 8, edges 9. Just a beautiful reverse holo. I just submitted this card to have some fun with submitting it. I think I wanted to round out the submission. I was like, let's grab the Kirlia. So pretty nice to see this come back with the high grade 8.5. Very, very nice. I'm not sure how well like selling these cards would do. I'm not going to sell most of them, but just pretty interesting to think about how these cards would end up. All right. Near mint to mint 8.5 on the Unseen Forces Hoa. Wow, that is pretty interesting. I thought this card would grade lower, as it has this like significant kind of ding in the bottom. But yeah, we got straight through 8.5 centering, 8.5 surface, 8.5 corners, and 9 edges. Yeah, this card graded higher than I was expecting. It is pretty interesting to see things like, again, the 8.5 meme, pack fresh Entei that I pulled myself. You know, this card has some factory stuff. Yeah, ding in the corner here and there. But yeah, pack fresh Entei, as opposed to this Ho has hollow scratches as well. It doesn't really come across on the, you can kind of see it, some of it there, through the, yeah, you can see the hollow scratches there. Like that is fairly significant hollow scratches. Like I was thinking this would get a 7 or an 8 at PSA. So to see it get an 8.5, that's great. I love it. But still pretty interesting. All right, so I think the final English card here, I don't even remember which one it is. Oh, nice, the near mint plus 7.5 jump off. Pretty nice. I think I bought this for like $5 off of a card shop, and I was just like, yeah, I'll send it off. Jump off 7.5, that's nice. I do not send off a lot of WotC stuff, so that's pretty interesting. All right, now into the 2 Japanese cards that I submitted to CGC. Let's see how they grade Japanese. Near mint plus Charizard EX from the Charizard constructed starter deck. Yeah, so centering 9, surface 9, corners 8.5, edges 6.5. I was expecting a low edges grade on this. There is some wear at the top. I don't know if I can move it a little bit so you can see that. 6.5 on edges is a little lower than I was expecting. I was thinking it would maybe go to 7.5 or something. But even if it did, it probably wouldn't actually bring this card up that much. So 7.5 on the Charizard. Kind of interesting how you see how one subgrade can drag down the grade, overall grade of the card. But still, this card is rated a full grade above what the lowest subgrade is because the other grades are so high. So that's, again, interesting. The way that CGC does the grading scale with the subgrades is pretty interesting. All right. And the final card in my CGC submission, let's see how we do. 7.5 on the Altaria, so a 6.5 on the surface. That is pretty interesting. And then a 7.5 on the edges. I was expecting a low edges grade, as it does have some slight wear there, as you can see, but a 6.5 on the surface is pretty interesting. I don't really know. Perhaps there was a dent or something, or a crease. I don't know. I'll have to look at this off camera. But yeah, a 6.5 on the surface was a lot lower than I was expecting. So that's pretty interesting. So yeah, overall a really nice submission, I have to say. I'd say the highlights definitely like the Ho-Oh and the Level X, the EX cards. All of these are really, really sweet. So hold on, we'll do a little fan here of the big boys. That's pretty sweet. All right, there we go. So thank you all very much for watching. This was certainly interesting. I don't really know what I'm going to do with CGC grading in the future, whether I'm going to keep submitting to them or not. But stay tuned to the channel to find out. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and stick around for more videos.